Ah, mic test, mic test, mic test, mic test, mic test.
Find it. Oh, you got it. You got it.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everyone on that side of the wall. Can you begin to quiet down and get into reflective mode, please? Shut up, Taisi. Okay, it's 10:30, so shall we begin our service today? Could everyone rise, please, and let us offer a full bow or half bow, standing bow to our true parents. 차렷, 경배, 바로. Okay, so shall we recite Kajong Minse number 6? Number 6. Our family, the owner of Chanukot, pledges to become a family that moves heavenly fortune by attending the heavenly parent and true parents. We perfect the family that moves heavenly fortune to our community by centering on true love. Okay. Please join me in opening prayer. Dearest Heavenly Parent, true parents, thank you for this Sunday morning that we can join together. Thank you for the health that you could give us to help us walk into this service today, and that we could celebrate this first Sunday of the month together as a family, that we could represent the community, that we could represent the nation, or at least the region of South London, and join together with one mind, one body in unity. Heavenly Parents, we're family, brothers and sisters, father and son, uncles and aunties. So let us express that same love towards each other today, that we could embody the full capacity of the love that you gave us, God's love within us, but also that we could raise and appreciate your value as our King and as our parent and teacher. Heavenly Parent, thank you so much for this day, that you can give us this opportunity to embrace you, but also for us to accept your embrace to us, that you can descend down upon us and give us the inspiration that we needed to make sure this week goes well, and to offer ourselves for the week gone by, for all the goods and the bads, that we could reflect upon it and say thank you for today, say thank you for this week, and thank you for the tomorrow that we could live through in gratitude for everything you've given us. Heavenly Parent, for those that couldn't make it today, please be with them and give them the strength and health they need to continue to recuperate, continue to grow, and continue to stay as strong as they can as your children, Heavenly Parent. But you who are with us today, that we could worship. Thank you for technology, that we should worship together. And now that we could stand here together, we can offer this seventh day, this day as rest, but also a day of offering and glory for you. Because you've worked so hard to get us to this moment, it's time that you can take a rest. It's time that we can offer this day to you, this Sunday morning at least. And with all this, I pray that through this worship service today, that we can reflect on ourselves, but also take in inspiration that we needed from the very beginning, or something that we needed for motivation, something we needed for purpose, that we could take it with us and finally grow. Heavenly Parent, with this, I want to offer this prayer, or report this prayer in the name of Manbok Chen of the Blessed Central Family. Achu. Yes, please be seated. Okay, good morning, everyone. 안녕하세요. 오하요 gozaimasu. There are blank seats in the middle. Would people mind just shuffling forwards a bit? One row? I know you want to stay in your families, but as much as possible, you can stay in your families and shift forwards. I'll give you a minute. Okay. So, I hope you all had a good week, or at least there was some learning this week if it wasn't as great a week. Well, I hope you could reflect on your week. But yeah, today is the 1st of December, 1st of the month, so we can welcome a new month. Hopefully it's a good month for all of us. And with this, we have time for worship, but also lunch at the end. So let us make sure that this is the best day possible that we can offer to God today. Yeah, my name is Manbok. I'll be your MC worship service leader today. And I hope today will be a good day for all of us. Okay, let us Yes. I know it's gloomy outside, so I think we need some spirit in here. Okay, so let us welcome up the worship crew to offer to guide us in our first two songs.
Welcome our lead singers today for the first time.
All I've heard is the voice bringing the world into life. Joining a kinship of love, ocean lifeless one. Here in the home of a heart, vision of more. All these foundation of happiness, you shall live forever. Sea. In the garden of boundless kingdom, shining light to all the people of the
Thank you, worship team, man. I needed that. That was energy. Okay, so continuing on with the program, we have our announcements. Hello, hello. Okay, so this is for Blessing 2025. You can now register. Yay, next. 21-day spirituality workshop. This is highlight. Strengthen your spiritual life at the 21-day Yongsung workshop hosted by the Chombo Yumi branch from January 4th to 24th, 2025 in Bad Camberg, Germany. For more information, scan the code or look down your email. Scroll down. Continue. Register for the palace opening. Please register. We have crossed the 5-month mark leading up to the great opening ceremony of the Cheonwongun and the Cheonil Sanctum next spring 2025. If you want to make it, please register. Because there's going to be a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of people. So you will be one person in a billion. I don't think our church has that many people, but let's go. Youth camp for palace opening. There is a youth camp going on at the same time. Performance for Cheonwongun Victory Celebration. Join Hyojong Cultural Arts Youth Camp, open to ages 16 to 40. It includes training, performances, and internal education, culminating in a special April celebration performance.
The entrance into the Cheonil Sanctum in Cheonwongun marks the Heavenly Parents' settlement on earth for the first time in 6,000 years. The victory celebration for the entrance into the Cheonil Sanctum in Cheonwongun will be held at the Cheonshim Peace World Center. This special performance will feature new praise songs centered on Cheonilguk culture, conveying Heavenly Parents' dream, true parents' wishes, and historical truth. To prepare for this meaningful event, we are recruiting young people to participate in the 2025 Hyojong Culture and Arts Youth Camp. The camp is open to 200 young members aged 16 to 40 from January 4th to April 13, 2025. Participants will receive professional cultural arts training and art education, participate in the special performance, and have opportunities to join Holy Ground pilgrimages and True Parents' birthday celebrations. Details will be provided through official notices and church representatives. We encourage participation from young members interested in art culture, performance, and arts.
Okay. Please sign up. But remember, even though they were showing music and dance to be arts, even love is an art. So, yes. Internal choir opportunity. Recruitment is open for the International Choir for Cheonil Sanctum entrance ceremony at Cheonwongun. If you want to join the choir representing our community at the Cheonwongun entrance ceremony, then please register. Okay, so next week, Saturday, 5 to 7 p.m., there will be a worship concert held at Livingston House. Entry is free, but please, donations are welcome. And because we are thinking of cooking, we need to know numbers, but there has been a huge lack of response. So we just want to do a quick hands up now. If you could, everyone hands up, please. So then, everyone hands up, please. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Wow. I didn't mean come, I just said hands up. Okay, well, there has been a lack of response even in the hands up section, so. Yeah, but if you do want to join, please also bring guests, bring everyone, anyone and everyone. If they do want to join, just please scan or use the sign up link for more. Okay, so there's an Ilshin program 2025, participants 14 to 18-year-olds and their parents. It's an 8-week program starting from Saturday 8th of February and finishing Saturday 29th of March 2025. There will be a retreat in between from Friday 14th of March to Sunday 16th at Livingston House. Again, I'm pretty sure this is all in your email, so if it's going too quickly or you want to find out more, just scroll through. Next, please. Yep, so here's a winter workshop, Nordic winter workshop for young adults. This year, a dedicated team of second generation members is planning the event so that staff too can fully participate in the activities, from cozy fireside gatherings to sauna sessions. Next. Harp UK Winter Workshop. So, registrations have opened, I think ages ago, for youth between 14 to 18 years old, held at Livingston House to offer education and community connection. It will be from the last week of December into New Year's. Yep, so this is a UPF event, if I'm, oh no, joint collaboration. So yeah, there's a Christmas celebration on the 14th of December, Saturday 14th of December, so 2 weeks time, from 3 to 5:30. Here, entrance fees at 5. There'll be seasonal messages, Christmas-themed refreshments, music, and charity raffle. Next week at the same, just before the concert, there would be a Saturday seminar for ministers and their ministry teams, led by BCLC. No, this is BCLC. So yeah, these are some people who will be speaking. Next. There will be a music workshop as well next 2 weeks' time, from 12 noon, around 4 hours-ish. The participation, there's no payment. And yes, the aim is to make music. Yes. Okay. So this, out of everything except for Chonongun and Chono Sanctum stuff, this might be the second most important thing there is. So, as you know, we are this River South community is a strategic church, strategic community. And to be able to regulate numbers is pretty hard to do it non-invasively. So just to make it easier to record numbers like who comes and who doesn't come, so that we can monitor growth, we want you to sign up for this, register yourself as a member of FFWPU and the community that you are part of. Okay? I mean, if you could scan it now, I'll give you like 1 minute just to quickly scan it and have it on your phones so you can attend to it later. It is in the email, but just in case you just don't do it or you forget to do it. Yep, it's happening. One more. Okay. Everyone happy? Let's continue. Before we get into Sunday school, just in case, I have some sad news to share with you. So this news might be a bit difficult to bear, so please bear with me. Okay, so I'm sure lots of you understand that today there was supposed to be a candle ceremony this after service today. So many of you I know would have brought your candles. I understand not the greatest news to share, but there is no seed candle today. We forgot to bring it. So there won't be this ceremony after service. I am sorry. That was my sad news. Yeah, and now happy news, Sunday school. Okay, you can, wait, what about the birthdays? Okay. Now we have Yumi News.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It's wonderful to have you with us for this week's news brought to you by the West Sub-region.
His name is Francesco.
And her name is Maria. And we are excited to guide you through the latest updates and highlights from our community. Last week, Dr. Balcom shared his experiences in Las Vegas, where he participated in the World Christian Leadership Conference. However, he still has more to share.
Hello everybody, I'm back now from a wonderful trip to Las Vegas for the World Christian Leadership Conference. Last week you heard a little bit as we were beginning, but at the end we can say it was a great success with a lot of new friendships and new relationships created that bring us much closer together in experiencing worship, prayer and fellowship. Let's hear from some of the participants.
Exciting time, especially being able to go and see the places where true parents lived, and even where they had breakfast, and even what they used to eat for breakfast. And we were able to go to see the Red Rock where true parents went. So I felt like following in the footsteps of true parents.
It's a great move, bringing communities, bringing people together, and then fostering the life of Christ, even amongst the next generation. We believe God will fulfill His word, even through this ministry. God bless you.
Hello, Europe! This is WCLC. My name is Hannah Arthur, and this is
Dr. Tanya Edwards. I am the WCLC Director of International Affairs.
And I'm the Administrative Assistant. We are here live at the International Convocation 2024 for WCLC. Our theme is The Spirit and the Bride Say Come, from Revelation in the Bible, and oneness in spirit and truth. And we have ministers here from all around the world, from Korea, from South America, from Europe, from USA, from Africa, and it's an incredible time seeing everybody come together here in unity. There's so much hope, there's so much excitement. The Holy Spirit is being felt here, and we can't wait to share all of the highlights with you. Any words?
And yay, Europe, yay, we love Europe. Next time we also want all of you to be here with us and share the goodness of God.
Yes.
Amen. So thank you and God bless you.
God bless you.
Bye.
This is the time to reach out anew to our Christian brothers and sisters. We have a lot of resources available to help you do that, and I hope that next time you will participate in the international conference. But in the meantime, please join the monthly Zoom seminars. Thank you so much.
And we can make the kingdom of heaven come in Europe. Amen.
Amen.
To prepare for the April 2025 blessing, the Yumi First Generation Blessing Department has been organizing several blessing preparation workshops. Franz Kerbo-Meyer, the director of the department, recently toured Russia to conduct several workshops there. On the weekend of the 16th and 17th of November, he was in Brussels, Belgium, where another workshop was held with 9 participants from 7 different countries. Participants could deepen their understanding of God's ideal that was lost, and how we are all called to establish that ideal in our own lives and families. They could also come to appreciate the value of True Parents' blessing, which opens the door to restoring our position as God's children. In 3 weeks, Franz will travel to Albania for yet another First Gen workshop.
The topics were very inspiring for me. We talked about the requirements to be a candidate for matching and blessing, and the preparation for this. Blessing is not the end of a journey, but is just a beginning. There was a nice atmosphere, and I felt a positive energy that stayed with me. I am grateful for this opportunity. Thank you very much.
November 2nd was a very special day for our sub-region, West Europe. All national leaders, together with the members of the different nations, gathered in Chamarande, France, not only to celebrate True Children's Day and Foundation Day, but the highlight was the handover of the vice presidency. After 4 years of sincere devotion, Julika Labroi passed the torch to Eugene Colleter.
As part of the True Children's Day celebration, Brigitte Gallois, national leader of Luxembourg, reached the heart of the children, sharing the beautiful story of Dangun. This tells the story of a heavenly prince who descended to earth, transformed a bear into a woman, whom he later married. Their son, Dangun, founded Korea's first kingdom. This legend symbolizes the divine origins and unity of the Korean people. During the transition ceremony, Dr. Balcom sent a heartfelt video message expressing sincere gratitude for the investment of Julika and extending his support to Eugene. Hugo Verax, sub-regional director, highlighted Julika's substantial victories and how much she had been of an invaluable support to him. And Eugene shared how God had worked to help her in taking on this new responsibility. And after a refreshing walk around the castle of Chamarande, a Q&A session provided an opportunity for free sharing between members and leaders, which was very enlightening and enriching for everybody. These were beautiful moments of togetherness and sharing, embodying the spirit of being one family under God.
The following day, we held another special meeting at Espace Barreau, the FFWPU Paris Education Center. Molon Colleter officially assumed the management of the center from Yves Masset, who had been overseeing it since 2019.
Yves Masset gave a brief historical overview. He reminded us of True Mother's visit to Vienna, Austria in 2015, during which she allocated a special financial grant to both Albania and France. Yves expressed his deepest gratitude on behalf of all brothers and sisters of France for True Mother's generous support. This grant came as a beacon of hope following a difficult period of persecution in France. It enabled France to pursue Espace Barreau and transform it into a beautiful, functional space adapted to our needs. The center is equipped with high-performance audiovisual equipment, making it ideal for various meetings and video conferences. As a result, it is in high demand by third parties and has become profitable. After some words of encouragement from Raphaël Guignard, national leader of France, and Hugo Verax, sub-regional director of West Europe, everybody enjoyed a lovely meal together.
On the same weekend as other events mentioned earlier, my wife Dumila Guignard organized a young family gathering on All Saints' Day, November 1st, in the South Paris Community Center, which is continuously becoming more family-friendly. Currently, Franz-Paul Dadus, responsible for Sunday School, is running a crowdfunding to refurbish one room to suit the needs of parents with very small children. It was a very simple event, but many families with young children came and shared a nice lunch and afternoon together. It allowed parents to meet, catch up, and have deep and meaningful conversations about their lives and projects in the community, and were already followed up by actions. This showed us how impactful a simple yet well-targeted event can be.
That brings us to the end of this week's news. We hope you found it meaningful and enjoyed hearing about the progress within our community.
Thank you for joining us.
And we wish you a joyful and fulfilling week ahead.
Goodbye.
Avec notre roi, nous irons jusqu'au bout de la terre. Partager la joie, le bonheur et la lumière. La 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 la.
That was a lot, wasn't it? I think the two things I want to take away from that are youth. It was mentioned so briefly, but Eugene taking over the vice presidency, if I'm right, so youth, and Christianity. It's an era. It's a time where, we have lots of Christian foundations in this country. So I think the easiest way to witness, take the foundation and make it united. And youth. I mean, True Father says this. True Father says, human beings were made sensitive to the changes in nature, changes in seasons, right? We love to see the change between summer, autumn, winter, and spring. It's the same in communities. And so we have been in a long era of springtime in this community, led by the first generation, our elder members. I think it's time. I know we've been seeing more youth and young people taking the MC role, which is good, right? But it would be nice if we could completely take over, okay? Completely. Even the sermons. But yeah, that is the ideal, which hopefully we can bring to here soon. But yeah, let's continue with the birthdays. Okay, so under 20s, we have Michael Rainbird, who would be 18 on the 5th. Adam, I don't want to hurt that name, so will be 16 on the 8th. Lucas Santos will be 16 on the 24th. And Eden Jacob will be 6 years old on the 30th. And then for older 20s, we have Laurie Mann, who has her birthday tomorrow. Alex Almeida on the 3rd. We have Philip on the 4th. Rhea on the 4th. Simon on the 6th. David on the 7th. Godeline on the 8th. Oliver on the 9th. Nicholas on the 15th. El Marine on the 16th. Carol and another person on the 17th. Carmel on the 18th. Catherine on the 22nd. Akiko on the 23rd. Carmela on the 24th. Twins with Nigel. Fumiko and Mark twinning on the 26th. Alicia on the 30th and Barbara on the 31st. Okay, wow. December bunch. So let me offer a prayer for them and then we can engage in some cake celebration. So please join me in prayer. Dearest Heavenly Parents, thank you for this December bunch of children that you could bring us to the world today. Not today, but in our lifetimes. Thank you for the distinct personalities that they could bring with us and then the investment and devotion that they could also bring with us. Through their lives, you guided them. Through their lives, you supported them. And through their lives, you brought them to where they are today, to be able to give to the people around them, to be able to fulfill your family here on earth. Heavenly Parent, you gave us the strength we needed, the wisdom we needed, and the care we needed to make ourselves grow into you, to be able to mature ourselves, but also to offer ourselves back to you. We are your many children, generations to come and generations that have been. But we are all here to give back to you because you created us with the intention of love. So it's in our duty, but it's also in our ideal. It's in ourselves innately to give back that love to you. And you who created us, you who gave to us, you who supported us, we want to say thank you so much. But please, I pray that you can continue to give them the wisdom they need to make good decisions in their life, to make decisions that own towards bringing greater goodness in this world, that decisions that own to create better love in this world, that we can all serve as one family, united in heart and in mind. Heavenly Parent, these children here today, they're such special, unique, and beautiful embodiments of yourself, each of them. I pray that you can really touch them to their deepest hearts and make them blossom, just blossom to the beautiful beings they deserve to be. Heavenly Parent, so please, that we can offer all these birthdays to you in thanks, but also in reverence. I report this prayer in the name of Manbok Chen of a blessed central family. Adieu. Okay, so cake cutting time. Who do I bring up? Michael's here. Michael and Adam. Michael? It's not here, Michael. Adam. and Brother Simon? Okay. No. Done. Pardon? It's okay. Nice. One more cut. Oh wait, you did. No, two. You cut into 3, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's because you cut a quarter and then the half. So I got confused. Okay. I think that's all the announcements, right? Birthday's done. So, in preparation, leading up towards our sermon, let us once more engage in some spiritual awakening through the music that we're about to receive. So, if you could stand up and welcome the band to singing in our next 2 songs.
I worship you. I worship you. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are here, turning lives around. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, mending every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. 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 Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop working. You never stop, you never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop, you never stop working. You never stop, you never stop working. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. You are Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. 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 That is who you are.
Thank you for that. Okay, so now we will move into the sermon for this worship service today, given by our elder brother Simon Roselli, titled Play the Long Game Fast. So let's welcome him up with a warm round of applause.
Good morning, everybody. See if I can get onto this. Let's see, recent. Okay, so play the long game. This came about slightly from summer camp. I gave a very short kind of talk on it, and I've kind of been thinking about it a bit longer since then, and I kind of fleshed it out a bit and kind of padded it out a bit. So actually, I was last time I came here, 2 weeks ago, we're here, right? And as I was leaving at 12:30, Farhad was driving in, right? And I said, "Oh, Farhad, how you doing?" He goes, "Oh, good, I got delayed." I said, "Anyway, Farhad, I met him on Thursday." And I said, "Farhad, is Adrian here?" "Yeah, Adrian, what did I tell Farhad on Thursday night?" No, I haven't started. Right, okay. What did I tell him? He said he's not going to start his sermon until Uncle or Farhad turns up. Right, okay. So, this is the long game. It could be a very, very, very long game, right? Anyway, I think that's kind of unfair on you. So anyway, I'm going to continue. But anyway, first of all, this doesn't seem to move forward. Which one are we on? Am I on yours or mine? It's on mine. Let's go out again then. No, the whole computer's frozen. Oh, wait a minute. No, there we go. Oh. I'm on mine now. Go back to mine. There we go. Right, okay, let me just see if this... Oh, yeah, now it works. Right, okay, so a couple of quotes to begin with. I have often expressed the significance of clear objectives in fulfilling God's will and establishing peace on earth. I have articulated this commitment stating the mission of Reverend Moon and the mission of the Unification Church are the same. To plant the love of God back in this country, to restore the family system and the churches. Those are our three fundamental goals. Moreover, true objectives require dedication and action. So if you have an objective or a goal, it's not going to happen just by itself. Right? It needs dedication, it needs action. It needs something on your behalf to get there, right? You aren't going to get there by yourself. You have to make it get there. From the Bible, Ecclesiastes 3:1, to everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under heaven. So basically that means that things happen in your life at a certain time for a reason. They don't just happen coincidentally. There's a reason and a time that is happening to you at your life at that moment. And last one, the key to success is to focus on the goals, not the obstacles. So you need to know what your goal is, first of all, and then you need to focus on how you're going to get there. Don't worry that, there's a mountain in between, there's a forest in between, it's impossible, Don't focus on how you're going to get there. Focus on the goal, and then you will get there, right? Not about the problems that are going to happen along the way, because they're going to be obstacles along the way for everybody, okay? So, an analogy. Who can give me a definition of an analogy? What is an analogy? Anybody? Nobody knows what an analogy is? Huh? Yeah, okay, right, okay, yeah, okay, fine. It's a way of talking about something else, right? Okay, like that. Okay, so I'm going to give you an analogy of life, right? Okay? Life is like playing a game of golf, right? Okay? So, anyone play golf here? Huh? Badly, right? Okay, fine, right? Okay, so, anyway, basically in a game of golf, you've got 18 holes. Right, okay, and some of them are short, they're par 3, some of them are par 5, but most of them are par 4, right? And you start off, at number 1, you hit it along the fairway, you then hit it onto the green, you 2-putt, you're fine. You then move on to number 2. This is a shorter hole, you hit it onto the green, you two-putt, you're fine. And you keep going along the golf course, right? Okay? But ultimately, wherever you are on the golf course, your goal is to get back here, right? That's where you're trying to get to, right? You're at different places at different stages in your life, but your goal is to get back to the 18th. And along the way, there will be obstacles in your way, right? Okay? So you want to land on the fairway, right? And then you want to land on the green, but sometimes there are things that stop you doing that, right? Normally you'll swing, but anyway, yeah, you end up, there are trees, there's rough over here, there's water, there's bunkers. So there's things that sometimes, you know, stop you from getting to where you want to get to. When I say stopping, they kind of slow you down, because you're going to get there eventually, but they slow you down. So life's a bit like a game of golf. Sometimes, like say, you're on the fairway, you hit it on the green, you two-putt, everything's fine, right? It's plain sailing, right? And everything's going along nice and smoothly. And then sometimes, for no reason, you suddenly hit difficulties. Okay, fine. So suddenly you hit difficulties. You may end up, you might end up in the bunker, right? You might end up in the water. You might end up in the rough. You might end up in the trees, right? And then you've got to think, what am I going to do next, right? And sometimes you're in such a bad place, all you can think of is from here, I can only get it back to here, right? I've got to think of that next shot. So in one sense, your next shot is the most important, right? Because you've got to think, how am I going to get, you know, to further along the course? But always, like say, you can focus on the next shot, but ultimately you've got to think of the long game. The long game is not this hole. The long game is not your next shot. The long game is finishing the course, okay? So life's the same, right? Life is the same for us. We can focus on our next shot, but ultimately the end game or the long game is like the most important. So as you go along the course, sometimes you use different clubs, right? If you know nothing about golf, that's I'll use this, right, okay? Right, that's a driver, right? And it takes you a long way, right? And it's harder to use, but you use it off the tee. That's like a fairway club, right? So you hit it on the fairway, and then you've got like putters and sand wedges and things like that. Same in life. You have, in your bag of tools or skill sets, you have different clubs. And you need those tools or those skill sets for different situations. Sometimes it might be a more compassionate, right, skill set that you need. Sometimes you might need to be more fatherly or more motherly. You have different skill sets in your bag, right? And as you grow, you'll add different clubs to your bag, and you need to know what club to use in what situation. Sometimes you will hit a bad shot. Everybody hits bad shots, right? Sometimes you hook it, which means it goes way off to the left. Sometimes you slice it, it goes way off to the right. Sometimes you might duff it, and it might go like 1 yard, right? Okay? That's, that will happen in golf. But the most important thing is to not follow it up with another bad shot, right? Don't compound the error, right? You've hit a bad shot, okay, that's fine. But the next shot is the most important. But don't kind of double compound it, right? Don't make 2 bad shots in a row. So just, take a reset, relax, think about it, and then move on, right? Okay, the worst thing you can do is keep making bad shot after bad shot after bad shot, okay? So regroup, move on. Focus on your objective, which, like I say, is the 18th, right? Always we're working to get towards the 18th. So, what are the long games or goals or objectives in your life? Anybody? Anyone got any goals or objectives in their life? Sure. What? Yeah. You spoke too soon there, didn't you? Huh? What are your goals, objectives, Margaret?
My goal is to serve to the end of my ability.
To serve to the end of your ability. Okay. Okay, right, okay. So anyone else got any other goals? Yes? To resonate with God, okay. Anyone got any career goals here? Nobody's got a career goal? No one's ambitious? That's fine. They should have career goals? Mambok, you have a career goal? Yeah, you want to share it? Pediatrician, right? Okay, so generally you have, different goals in your life, right? You do have a career game, right? Everybody here will have and I'm going to go into all of these, in a bit more detail. There's also the marriage game, right? Okay, when you get married, right? It's another game that you start in your life, and it's from 1 to 18, right? There's also a family game when the children come along, right? There's the religion or the closer to God game. There's a friendship game, which is like your peer group, right? And your friends, right? And also, there's a me game, right? Sometimes it's good to look after yourself. So, career game, right? Okay? So, when someone asks you, what are you going to do when you grow up? And you're like, I don't know, a 3 or 4-year-old little girl, they might say, when I grow up, I want to be a tooth fairy, right? Okay? Or I want to be a princess. Right? Those are kind of some common answers that you might get from a 3 or 4-year-old girl. Reality is that those probably are going to change, right? Okay? As they get a little bit older, they're going to change. And like you, Mambok, right? Your goals or your, objectives, they may change, right? Okay, you can start off and then something happens and then actually you think, well, actually. So, for me, when I started, it was very clear to me what I wanted to do when I was young. I wanted to be a jockey, right? I wanted to race ride. I wanted to ride in the Grand National. That was it. That was my life, right? I'm going to do this, right? Anyway, a number of things happened. One was I became too tall, right? I mean, jockeys are like down here, right? Okay, fine. I can't be a jockey. I had to reevaluate, right? And then my next goal was like, I know, I'm going to become a vet. Because I love animals, I love horses, I love dogs, so that will be my next career game. And then I realized you had to get 3 A's at A-level, right? Not only did you have to get 3 A's at A-level, you had to get them in biology, chemistry, and either maths or physics. And as I wasn't doing any of those for my A-levels, I realized that that wasn't going to happen. Also, I was never going to get 3 A's in anything, right, okay? So I had to reevaluate again, right, okay? And then I thought, actually, I'm going to do something in agriculture or outdoors. It kind of slowly went down. Anyway, I thought, I'll find something, outdoors or agriculture. And actually, I remember I went to a careers advice evening, right? And I went there, and this guy, this was after that, and then there was this guy, and he goes, well, I was 18. And he goes, what do you want to do when you grow up, Simon? And I said, well, when I grow up, I want to be a magician. And he looked at me in the eye and he said, Simon, you can't do both. Only a few people got it, but it's fine. Right, okay, fine. Right, it's fine. So, some people know, right, from day one what they want to be, right? They want to be a doctor and it's very clear for them. Like you say, some people, it changes as you go along. But when you're playing the career game of golf, what do you need to do on the first hole, right? The first hole, you need to learn how to walk, right? Then you need to learn how to talk. Then you need to learn how to, potty training comes along, right? And then read and write, maybe on the 4th hole. Imagine if you went to your first job and you were not potty trained, right? It wouldn't be good, right? It's not going to happen, right? So there are steps along the way to help you get to your career game. And eventually, like I say, if you want to, be a doctor or whatever it is, you have to get certain GCSEs, right? And then afterwards, you have to get certain A-levels, right? And then after that, you have to, go to the right university, you have to study the right thing. So there are certain steps along the way. You cannot go from hole 1 to hole 18 for your career game, right? It just doesn't happen. There are steps along the way that you have to follow, right? Same, like I say, you're going to, and along the way, you're going to be taking different shots to help you get there. So, like I say, alongside that career game, there are other games that are going to go on simultaneously in your life. It's not just the career game, right? There's the marriage game, right? Okay? And when I was about 18, I realized that actually having a good marriage was important, or a good wife, to be there for my family. I wanted someone that was more internal rather than external. I wasn't really interested in what I'd call like a trophy wife type thing. And I realized, actually, that's important for me. The marriage game is important. And so I realized, I wanted somebody that when they said their wedding vows, I'm going to love that person for richer, for poorer, in sickness, in health, for better, for worse. I wanted somebody that would hold on to those words. It's easy to say that when you're richer or in health, or right? It's not so easy to say when you're poorer or in sickness, right? So I realized it's important that. And I realized, actually, that's what I want out of life. I want a good marriage. So I want a good mother, right, to my family. So I started a little black book. I had this like little book, and it had a little black book on it, and I started writing names of people that I could put in that little black book. And the first person I put in that little black book was somebody called Tracy. And I met her in Malawi. And I was out there with a school friend, and I was out there with a school friend. I was traveling around the world, and I went to see him in Malawi. And I met this girl called Tracy there, and she was the most Christian person I ever met. I mean, we were just 18-year-old lads, and probably quite immature at certain points, doing immature things, saying immature things. We were just basically lads, right? But when she walked into the room, nobody would swear. It was like, oh, Tracy's here, right? Okay, like that. And she was Christian, and even though none of us were really like what I say called Christian, we respected her for being Christian and for her beliefs and for her, she'd go to church on a Sunday. And I thought, this person would be a good mother. This person would be a good wife, right? I didn't really understand everything at that point. So she was the first person that I put into my little black book, right? I never put anyone else in there. I didn't meet, but anyway, that's fine, okay? So, anyway, the marriage game, right, okay? So, like, number one tip, right? If you want a good marriage, who would like a good marriage here? Right, okay. Number one tip I can give you, and this is for free, right? If you want a good marriage, is hold your spouse's hand out when you're out in public. Who holds their spouse's hand when they're out in public? A few, right? You did, okay, right, okay, fine, okay? So, I always hold my wife's hand out in public. If I let go, she goes shopping. Very good tip, okay? Very good tip, okay? Anyone here have any disagreements or misunderstandings with their spouse? Always, right, okay. So, why do those disagreements or misunderstandings take place? For me, it's actually, sometimes it's a language or a kind of like a cultural thing, right? And sometimes I might say something literally, and she might take it as a figure of speech, or I say something as a figure of speech, and she takes it literally. So, I'll give you an example, right? I'm watching TV, right? I'm sitting there, I'm watching the TV, my wife comes in, she goes, "What's on the TV?" So I said, literally, dust. Anyway, that's when the misunderstanding took place. Okay. So, anyway, make sure you understand the same language, right? Okay? Right, okay. She got it, finally. Right, okay? So anyway, in the marriage game, on 1 to 5, or maybe 1 to 6, you start to grow your heart. If you got married at the age of 3, right? Where you can't even share, right? You know, that's mine, now it's mine, like that, right? Okay? It's not going to work. So you develop your heart, right? And eventually you learn to share. I'll give you mine if you give me yours, right? And then you develop your heart. And then slowly you learn to give unconditionally, right? Actually, you can just have it. It's fine, right? And so, you know, like I say, you grow your heart. So same with like the marriage game. You start to become more mature. You start to think about others more than yourself. And then when you actually do get married, you have to start to make compromises, right? You have an opinion, they have an opinion, and then hopefully somewhere you meet, somewhere in the middle, right? Right, hopefully, right? And like I say, you then start to, you keep going down the marriage game, right? And eventually you get to the family game, right? Now, is the family game like that the whole time? Of course, yes, of course, right, okay. No, right, it's not like that the whole time. That's what you want to try to get to, right? Right? But, let's be honest. Who's had a baby that's had colic? Right, okay, a few, right, okay? Was that like that? No, right, okay? And then you get to the terrible twos. Who had the terrible twos? Right, again, you seem to have a lot, Cecilia. Right, okay, so, yeah, you get to the terrible twos. You have the sleepless nights, right, when they're babies. You have the terrible twos, the tantrums, and then actually you get the teens, right, okay? You're laughing, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right, okay? It's not like that when they're teenagers, are they? No? They suddenly develop their own opinions, right? They answer back, right, okay? So, it's not like that. But slowly, by having children, right, you grow your heart even more, right? You get stretched, right, and, pulled in different directions. You probably have to make certain compromises, right? But eventually, you get to have grandkids, right? Right? And then that's a different heart again, right? And then eventually you might even have great-grandkids. So, I don't know why that jumped. But anyway, so, to be a good husband or a good father, to be a good mother, to be a good wife, there are processes along the way, right? Again, you don't just go from hole 1 to hole 18, right? There are certain things that happen to you at different stages in your life that help you prepare for certain situations that maybe take place later on in your life. So another game that you're going to be playing, right? A few of you mentioned it, is Back to God or the religion game, okay? And again, your goal is like maybe I want to become God's son, right? I want to become God's daughter, right? But is that going to happen overnight? No, right? It's a process, again, right? You don't go from hole 1 to 18, right? Oh, I want to be next to God. Oh, I am next to God. That's great, It's a process. It takes action, right? It takes effort, right? So maybe on hole 1, it starts off with hello, right? But there's hell in hello, right? Okay? So I remember when I was very young, my first experience with trying to reach out to God was I used to have these little terriers, and they used to go hunting into the woods, and they used to go down a hole, and they get stuck for about a week, right? And then they get thinner and thinner and thinner, and eventually they would kind of come out the other side, because dogs, once they go down a hole, they don't come out backwards. They just have to keep thinking of going forwards. So we had too many small dogs, and we lived near this wood, and we lost many little dogs when they just used to go hunting the whole time. Anyway, I was very attached to my dogs. And one day I prayed, my dogs had been missing for about 4 days, 5 days, and I said, look, God, this is the first time I'm going to reach out to you. If you can bring my dogs back to me by 9 o'clock tonight, I will pray to you every night for the rest of my life. And more than that, I'll brush my teeth twice a day. Okay? I wasn't very good at brushing my teeth. All right, okay? I wasn't very good at praying either. But anyway, so I went to bed. I don't know, about 7, right? And then suddenly I heard a commotion on my parents. Oh, they're at the front door. They open it in, they come in. And it was the dogs, right? And I looked at the clock, and it was 9 o'clock. And I thought, is that real? Is that a coincidence? I don't know, right? But anyway, I made a promise, right? I made a promise, so I start praying, and I start brushing my teeth. Both lasted about a week, right? So, like I say, you need to put, to build that relationship with God, you need to include God in your daily life. So I know Paul writes down, what can I do for God today, right, as an acronym, right? And that's a good thing, right? Start off the day, think, what can I do for God today? Or if you're in a certain situation and something comes up and you're not sure quite what to do about it, what would God do in this situation, right? So like I say, how can I see from like God's viewpoint? So if you kind of include God in those decisions and those kind of situations, you will slowly go along that journey, towards God. If you don't kind of do anything, nothing's going to happen. You're just going to stay in the same spot, right? Okay, so you slowly got to make that happen. Anyone know who this Pope is? Who is it? Francis, right? Okay. This was a really interesting quote that he came up with the other day. He said to children in Singapore, all religions are paths to reach God. They are to make a comparison like different languages, different dialects to get there. But God is God for everyone. If you start to fight saying, my religion is more important than yours, mine is true and yours isn't, where will that lead us? There is only one God, and each of us has a language to arrive at God. Some are Sheikh, Muslim, Hindu, Christians. There are different ways to God. It's kind of open, right? For a Catholic Pope, right, to say that, right? Anyway, so there are, we each have our own way to God. That's what I'm trying to say, right? There's no, even though we're all in this church here together, there are different ways that we relate to God, right? And there's no right or there's no wrong way. It's how we relate to God. There's also another game that you might be starting, which is the friendship game. And I mean real friends, right? Not how many friends have I got on Facebook or Instagram likes or things like that. So, yeah, again, if you have a friend in need is a friend indeed. But it's a process, right? You are not going to become, if you think, everyone thinks of somebody who is their best friend, right? Is that person your best friend from the day you met them? No, right? It's a process, right? You start off, same with God. You say hello. You might, it might be at school. You meet and go, hello, what's my name? Oh, my name, right? And then it won't be very deep, right? But as you go along that process, along the course, along the game, you'll start to, do things together with them. You'll start to share more personally with them. When you start opening up your heart to them, right, then they start opening up their heart to you, then that relationship will develop, right? So you have your friends, right? Another game that you could be playing is the me game, right? And that's, sometimes it's good to take 5-10 minutes for yourself, right? For yourself, right? Because if you don't, then you could end up with burning out. But don't focus on it too much for too long. Otherwise, you get someone looking in the background like that, okay? So I want you to think about what your long games are. But more importantly, when I say long games, what are your goals? What are your objectives, right? And I want you to think, how am I going to get there? Because like I say, they're not going to just happen by themselves. There will be curveballs along the way. There are going to be unexpected bumps in the road. You might suddenly think, everything's going fine in my marriage, and then it might suddenly like that. Or you might be fine in this game, and then suddenly something else comes along, and you get derailed, right? So there are things that are going to knock you off course, right? And it's how you deal with those. Like I say, there are, you just got to keep thinking of where I'm going to get to, right? Which is the 18th, right? Even though those obstacles come along the road. So there will be unexpected hazards on the course. So this isn't a game of golf, but this could happen as an analogy in your life. You could be in a bunker like that. And you could just think, I'm in this biggest hole in my life, right? How am I ever going to get out of this hole, right? Right? You could be in the water, right? And you think it's going to be almost impossible for me to get out of here. Oh, they came. Oh, right, okay, that's nice. Thank you. Right, okay. We're so grateful for your presence, right, okay? Huh? Although he hasn't turned up, right? Okay, that's fine, okay? Sometimes you might find yourself in an impossible situation. In golf, you have to play the ball where it lies. Literally, you have to play it. Otherwise, there's a penalty, right? Okay, so you might find yourself in an impossible situation. But you've got to think beyond that, right? And like I say, sometimes you get some really odd things that could happen to you, like that. That could be on the course, your course, right? Or that, right? There are things that suddenly, yeah, Mitsuko, it happens, right? Not in this country, right? Okay, in America, they have those on the course, right? Okay. So, when I talked about it, in summer camp, we have three things to think about. We have the past, we have the present, and we have the future. What of those three is the most important? Is it the past, the present, or the future? Future. Present, future? Pastor, what do you say? I think present. Present, okay. Who by a show of hands thinks the past is most important? Well, you put your hand up, it's okay. You could think the past is most important, okay. Who thinks the present is most important? Right, okay. Who thinks the future is most important? Right, okay, fine. So, of course, if you're playing golf, what shot is the most important? The next one, right? The next shot is the most important. So in that sense, the present is. It doesn't matter if you've just done a hole-in-one or you've done one that's only gone 3 feet. It's your next shot that still is the most important, because that will determine what? The future, right? So how you play now will affect the future. Can you change how you played before? You can't, right? Even if you've had a shocker, right? You know, like I say, you can't change that. You just have to think, this is my next shot. But you can change the future by focusing on the next shot. So again, in some sense, you know, like you might have had a tough life, right? And you go, oh, my life's terrible. No, it's impossible. Oh, no. Okay. My upbringing, my parents, no, it's terrible, right? Okay. But actually, that's not, you know, a reason for you to focus on here and now, right? You can't change the past, right? But the future you can. But the future you can change by playing the present, okay? So, when I talked in summer camp, someone else actually gave an analogy, another analogy, right? And it's like, same thing, right? Life is like a game of snakes and ladders, right? You're focusing on to get to 100, to finish the game. And sometimes it's going swimmingly along, and suddenly you might get a promotion at work, and you get a ladder, right? And things go along. And then suddenly you get fired, right? And then you get, you know, you're on a snake, right? And things, life's like that. Whatever game you're playing, there are going to be ups and downs, right? But again, you've just got to focus on getting to the end point, okay? The other thing is, you'll be juggling lots of these games at the same time, right? So you've got the Closer to God game, you've got the career game, you've got the marriage game, you've got the family game, you've got the me, right? And you're juggling them, right? And like I say, they're all important, right? All of them are important. But if you focus on one of them too much, what happens to the rest? They fall down, right? Okay, so if you, like, let's take the me time. Who likes Korean drama? Anyone like Korean drama? Right, okay? Oh, a few people, right? Okay. Right, Mitsuko, how many episodes of Korean drama can you watch in a day? 20. Right, okay. Right, okay. I had, by chance, I said, if you watch 20 games of Korean drama in one day, what happens to the rest of those, right? Everything goes pear-shaped, right? There's no family time, right? There's no time for Dirk, right? There's no time for work, right? Okay? So, right, okay? Day off, right? Okay. Okay. Only on day off. 20 in an hour a day. Whoa. All right, okay. So, same with, like, you know, if you're into sports, right? And you're just, like, crazy for watching sports, right? And you just focus on all day watching sports. Everything else kind of, you know, you need to focus, you know, give them all, you know. I'm not saying, like, at different times in your lives, some will be you're focusing on more, right? Other times in your life, you'll be focusing on other things more, right? So sometimes, you know, a lot of us, older generation, when we were young, we focused on the Closer to God game, right? And the career game kind of went out the window, and other things, everything went out the window, right? It was just, you know. But anyway, even if you just do the Closer to God game now, like 20 hours a day, right? If you did Hunduke 20 hours a day, or meditation, or like, you know, I don't know, whatever it was, then other things get neglected, right? So you need to balance, right? It's a balance, right? And without it, you're going to cause problems, right? So, yeah, juggle, but, give each one the right amount of time. And the last few things I have to say to you is some courses will be harder than others, right? Some courses are much easier, right? Some courses are harder. The marriage game, that's a harder one, right? Okay? Right? Other one is none of the games that you play are separate. They all interlock, right? They're all connected in some way. And the third one is that whatever course you're playing on, really invest in that 100%. So if you're focusing today on the career game, really invest in that 100%. If you're focusing on the marriage game, focus on that 100%. Huh? That's right, because you're focusing on it 100%. Okay? So even, I'm just going to show like one golf clip, right? And this is, if you watch a game of golf, I don't know, if you watch a sport or a movie and you're on your phone at the same time, are you really invested in that game or that movie? No, because you've got other things to kind of take you away, right? Okay? And same with, like, if you're like say, whatever it is, invest in it 100%. This, you'd imagine the golf, when people play golf, there's something called, like, when people do well, there's the golf clap. People go like this. Like that, oh, well done, like that, okay? But you're not really investing in it, right? This is from the Waste Management, right? It's a tournament, it's a PGA tournament in America, and they have this kind of bowl, right? It's like a stadium, and the hole is inside this stadium, and people go there to watch them when they play this to see if someone can get a hole in one, right? Because it's in this like amphitheater. Anyway, this is people that have invested as spectators, right? And it's not like that. But anyway, if you show the clip, please. There we go.
Going at it. It's so tough. But it's worth the reward right here. Cocktails. Sam Ryder has a very expensive bartender ahead of him. This 16 will take a room at that. You will never see anything else like this in the world of golf. Unbelievable. We need showers. I smell like beer now, Cole. Going at it. It's so tough. But it's worth the reward right here. Cocktails. Sam Ryder has a very expensive bartender ahead of him. This 16 will take a room.
Anyway, because of that,
you will never see anything else like this in the world of golf. Unbelievable. We need showers. I smell like beer now, Cole. Going at it. It's so tough. But it's worth the reward.
That will do, right? They are there investing. So like say, whatever game you're doing, really invest in that, like 100%, okay? And like say, play the long game, focus on the 18th, not the 1st, the 4th, the 5th, whatever, or where you are at that particular point. Focus on getting to the long game. Thank you. Please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Parent, thank you so much for being here together with us now, that we can just take some time to share together with you. Each of us are playing multiple different games in our lives. Some of us are trying to come back to being your sons and daughters. Some of us are focusing on our careers. Some of us are focusing on our families. Some of us are focusing on our marriages, but they're all important and they all interlock. And actually, we need to focus on all of them at the same time. But whatever we do, we want to really invest 100% into each and every one of those. Please be with us as the new year comes to an end, as this year comes to an end. We want to take stock of what our goals, what our objectives are, and really focus on making new ones and new goals, new objectives, but also trying to figure out how we're going to get there. So if we want to focus on one particular course that we may be playing at the moment, not to really so much worry about what obstacles or what hazards may be on the course, but actually we want to focus on how we're going to get there. But we need to take time, we need to take action in order for us to arrive back at the 18th. So thank you so much for this time. I offer report this prayer in my name, Simon Roselli of a Blessed Central Family. Adieu.
Thank you. Thank you to our brother Simon for giving a wonderful message today. If I were to give my reflections on that message, I think the main one was, for me, relationship game. It's an internal goal, right? And internal goals, I remember True Father saying, not even I remember, I haven't even been existing when I was, But I read True Father saying, internal goals and external goals exist in this world. One serves God and the other one serves humankind. But if you focus on which one's more important, because if you serve God, God will serve humankind. And then, in terms of relationships themselves, in the end, that internal goal for me anyways, all of them lead to being as God wants you to be. So then even love, we always say these three adjectives side by side. Love should be eternal, unchanging, absolute. And then the way True Father describes it is just so simple. How do you achieve that? If you want, for all the time, if you just want the other person to be as best as they can be, then your love for them will be eternally unchanging, because you always just want them to be better, How can that change? So those are two things I was just reminded of as I was listening to that. So, just to finish off the service, we want to offer all of our inspirations and our monetary tithings to God. So let us welcome the band once again to give the offering song. So if we could all rise, please.
나라 찾는데 봉인이 어서 오라 봉인이 오라 봉인이 오라.
Let us pray. Heavenly Parent, thank you so much that we can be here to hear this valuable message, playing the long game. I pray that all of us here can develop the skills that are needed to address the difficulties, challenges, moments of crisis that can unfold in all the theatres of our life. Please accept these donations and all other thoughts and actions of goodwill. I pray that all of us can find our special way to you, and that in all of this we can always remain one united family. And I pray this in the name of Tony Bain of the Blessed Central family and all of the families represented here. Adieu.
Okay, so we're now coming to the end. Let us wrap this up. So, before we move on, progress, let us do our nice to meet yous to welcome anyone who's been to this community for the first time, or at least not in a while. Anybody? Shall we welcome DUM members back then? Yeah? Should we get one of them to speak, or what's the vibe? Okay, one of you, pick.
I have the mic, so I'll speak.
Okay.
Hello, me, Inshan, Alma, and Gabriel went to DUN. We just completed the first module. In this time, we were doing some divine principle education, character building education, and some fundraising. I think we all had very substantial and meaningful times, supported by very competent and very amazing staff. So I think we're very grateful. And we're happy to talk about our experiences there. So thank you so much for welcoming us back.
Inshan, do you agree? Good. Okay. One more person. She's introduced herself before, but never to this community, that's why. No? Okay, it's fine. Oh yeah, Yumin's come back. A Korean, I don't know if she's a missionary or what. But a Korean has come.
Hi everyone, Yumin Lee from Korea. Actually, I visited here maybe 1 month ago with the Chombo team. Chombo team just for a while went back to Korea, but I decided to stay alone. So I'm staying in Livingstone House with the Top Gun missionary, and then I am doing an activity together. So nice to meet you guys.
Thank you. Okay. So, last but not least, let us do our round of thank yous, because everyone put their efforts to make this worship a great one. So let's say thank you to everyone involved. So thank you to the band, first of all. Thank you. Thank you for tech team at the back, Sobea and Yoshi. Thank you for sermon giver. Yay. Thank you for kitching at the back, for cooking us lunch. Okay. Okay, so before we continue, or before the benediction happens, I just want to go through logistics with lunch. Now remember, surnames, O to Z, O to Z. Washing, it's not just washing up. Remember, leave the plus. So that means clearing up the tables and chairs as well. But that's not just for, we all can be involved in that, by the way. It's not just O to Z. But yeah, and also if youth could really invest themselves into that, like putting the chairs to the sides and the tables out, because we need to, youth, preserve the elders. Okay. So yeah, after all that, we can just move into our benediction now. So if I could warmly invite the pastor to stand up here. Let's go.
It looks ominous that I bring a laptop up, but it's not a talk. There's a couple of things I want to say before the benediction. Can you come? Yeah. It's winter. Today's the first day of winter. And outside my house, the cherry blossoms have duly come out. So there's a bit of confusion there. So, yeah. It is important to register for FFWPU membership on that link so that we can report our progress to Korea. Also, there's one thing I want to mention. It's like an analogy, right? Who's heard of Professor Alote? He came up, he's maybe the first African to have a constant or a theorem named after him. It's called the Alote formalism. Does anybody know that? Yeah, it kind of gives the theoretical understanding of what happens to electrons in atoms as a chemical reaction is taking place. Yeah, some people need to know this kind of stuff, right? The reason I say this is that one day, Professor Alote was in America teaching, giving a lecture, and one of the people in the audience disagreed with something he said. So he said, sorry, Professor Alote, according to the Alote theorem, what you're saying is not correct. And he said, I am the Alote. Of the Alote theorem. The reason I say this is important because True Mothers asked us to study the Champu Moron as the understanding for the Chonilguk era. So we had our first Champu Moron lecture study on Thursday, and the next one is going to be next Thursday. However, next Thursday, 7:30. It's 7:30 every Thursday for 12 weeks, except for two days except for 2 days in January where we will not have it. So for 12 weeks, we'll be doing it. So then it's important because true parents are teaching us something in this Chonilguk era which is important for God's providence. As we know, the expression of truth is unfolded as the providence progresses. So this is the time we're living in the Chonilguk era, which has a new understanding of truth, which will shed light on the providence up to now. So sometimes we take true parents' words, which they said 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and we check what they are saying now according to the words then. They are the true parents, their true parents. It is their providence, the providence of God is working through the true parents. So if they say something, it's wisdom to listen to it and understand the providence according to that. There are some groups that don't follow true parents. It's fine, because we are inclusive. Everybody is going to the kingdom of heaven one day, but we want to help God to build the kingdom of heaven. So some groups teach that there's a different true mother. There's a true mother, different substantial Holy Spirit. But we have one true parents eternally, Sun Myung Moon and Hak Ja Han, and they will not change. And it's important that we understand that, so that we are not led astray by anyone teaching something different. It's important, yeah. So please come to the Champomorong lectures and discuss it so that we can come up with some formalism according to the new age that we live in. Yes, Philip. Yes, yeah, I understand. Yeah. You have to come here. It's in person only at the moment. However, if you come to one, we are recording them. If you come to one, we will make the recordings available to you. But it's important that it's in person so that we can discourse in person and not, on your own. Yeah. Okay. So come to Livingston House next week if you can, and then we will make it available. And we know some people cannot make it at all. We will make it available, but we're just beginning. We're trying to figure it out ourselves, yeah, so we want to do that together. Next week will be Chislehurst, and the week after we'll be back here. So we alternate venues, yeah. So please receive the blessing of true parents. Please rise. This is from True Mother's speech on the 7th of March, 2024.
Heavenly parents alive, God is working with the first only begotten daughter. Around the world, we face many difficult problems. The only way to solve them is unite with True Mother. I bless you to become the chosen people who attend Heavenly Parent with joy and become the flagship nation of Chuneguk Aju.
Thank you very much. Have a great week and wrap up for the summer. Oh, maybe dress down for the summer. It looks like it's spring. Okay. God bless you. Bye-bye. And we will make candles available during the week, so I will let you know. And during the week, we will, sorry about today's mishap.